T-minus 1 minute and counting.
Hello.
Four, three, two, one.
Hello, how you all doing? Forgot to put my Fire Club Bandit mask on. I was a bit slow there. Sorry, people. Anyway, welcome to this live stream, and I think I need to take that off. I shall be promoting this at our merch, as they say, as the young people say, a little bit later. So, what have we got tonight? Well, we got Simon's Something for the Weekend coming up shortly, very shortly, in fact. A whole bunch of news, including some CA medical exemptions, which we're going to have a crack at explaining. Not easier said than done. There's some stuff about Vista, another bikini flying, blinking flying car project. Sorry, a few other bits and pieces. We're picking our SEP, our fantasy SEP, and good to see we got some participation from the forum there. We're waiting for some stuff from Twitter, but that's been a little bit slow to wake up tonight. And then chat about events and a few other bits and pieces. Plus, obviously, I'm not quite ready to promote this. They only arrived today, so they're kind of still in testing. So
Johnny Salmon said he's buying one already. So it's unfortunate he didn't. It's unfortunate he didn't realise they were 50 quid a go.
They're not that cheap, Ed.
Yeah, this is aviation after all.
This is aviation. Yeah, you can have the home built version with a needle,
or you can have the EASA part numbered one.
EASA part numbered one. Guess which is most expensive?
Yes.
Right. Let's move straight to the weather, shall we? Unfortunately, Simon Keeling can't be with us live tonight. He got his GCSE results today, and he's celebrating. So well done, Simon. Congratulations on that. So he's sent us a little video. So I'm going to play this video, 2 minutes long, all about the weather coming up. So see you the other side, as they say.
Evening all, I hope that you're doing well. Sorry I can't be with you tonight, but the laundrette called to say that they couldn't wash this shirt during daylight hours. So I'm afraid you'll have to make do with this recording for the weekend's forecast. And what I want to do is just to show you the charts here for Saturday. Now you'll be familiar with these charts, got squiggly lines, got the fronts on there. A couple of things to note from this is the trough that's across central and southern parts of England. That is going to be bringing heavy showers with it, and also the occluded front here that's across the north. Look, don't get too hung up about the fronts, just think of them as areas of cloud and rain. So that's going to be bringing some rain across northern England and also central parts of Ireland during the course of Saturday, edging its way southwards. Heavy showers in the south courtesy of this trough, and also some more persistent rain getting into the west of Scotland courtesy of the occluded front that we see there. Notice as well the isobars are close together. It's going to be a windy day on Saturday. I think winds probably westerlies, probably blowing at around 20, gusting 25 knots, perhaps a bit more than that on eastern coast and hills. Sorry, on western coast and hills. For Sunday, the occluded front, what's left of it, still over the top of us here. Only quite a narrow feature and a weak feature, but it will bring some cloud, some outbreaks of rain across parts of the Midlands, across Wales, across central parts of Ireland. Probably non-VFR there for a time. Bases around 2,000 feet, tops at about 10,000 feet, but I think improving through the day. Best of the conditions across southern England and also across Scotland and northern England, where it becomes brighter. Bases about 3,000 to 4,000 feet, and the tops there getting up probably near around 8,000 to 10,000 feet. So out of the weekend, Sunday does look to be the better of the days. Don't forget that it's this sort of stuff that we cover at Aviation Weather School, and I've got my next Aviation Weather School on the 12th and 19th of September. It's on 2 consecutive Saturday mornings. I've got a few places left now, so if you want to build your confidence in being able to forecast yourself and make forecasts up to 5 days ahead, Weather School is for you. Okay, whatever you're doing, have a great evening. See you, folks. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you very much, Simon. Everyone get all that?
You've got to love that shirt.
I'm going to find out where he got it from and see if we can't get some Flyer branded versions of that for us all to wear next week.
Well, they're special, you only, I think.
Right, let's move on briefly. Or let's move on, not briefly. How do you do that? Anyway, let's move on to this. There you go. Can everyone see that? Jolly good. No.
Doggone man.
Have your dad back running the internet. Today, the CA issued ORS 1421, which is all to do with PMDs, pilot medical declarations. So, to cut a long story short, I've read through all of this and skipped straight to the bit at the bottom, explanatory note, and I also went and read Irv Lee's 2-page explainer, which he's got on his website, and it's well worth having a look at that. Cut a long story short, if you happen to have a Part FCL UK CAA issued license, that's so an EASA license issued by the UK CAA, be a PPLA, PPLH, LAPL A or LAPL H, you can now use the pilot's medical declaration up until March 2021, even on EASA types. Previously, you would have had to stop doing that in November. There are some restrictions. Effectively, it's a kind of 4 seats only, 2,000 kilograms. Oh, what? Has Ed's fallen over? You can't see it. 4 seats only, 2,000 kilograms. Day, VFR, non-commercial kind of thing. So, well worth a read. The CA's kind of left out one paragraph that was in there before. So, if you you kind of need to have had a Class 1 or Class 2 or a LAPL medical before. If you've never had one of those before, so in theory, if you go way back like I do, and once upon a time had a Class 3 medical, then that might be an issue. But we think that's probably a CAA error rather than a CAA intention, and hopefully they'll see the error of their ways and fix it. But cut long story short, it's pretty good news, and you can carry on flying. Pretty good news for almost everyone. You can carry on flying your EASA type aircraft until March the 21st on a pilot medical declaration if you meet the requirements in there, which are not too onerous and most people will meet them. So go have a look and read Irv's thing. So that's some good news there. Everyone get that? Was that clear-ish?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Sounds good. Good. Okay, so Dave, I'm going to hand over to you for the rest of... Yeah, I know. It's the Vista Aerodrome fly-in is the next thing.
That's right. Yeah, Vista Aerodrome, which... as you may know, has the gliding club has moved out of Vista Aerodrome, and now it's opening itself up as a fairly normal aerodrome for operations. And they're sort of celebrating by having a fly-in on the 28th of August. They're saying it's mainly aimed at vintage aircraft because that's their big thing. They've got a lot of vintage cars on site, so they prefer vintage aircraft. But you can go to their website. Or you can go to the Flyer website, find the event. It's in our events listings, and there's more details there. They've got fantastic facilities there. You can either camp if you want to, if you really must, or you can stay in one of their Airbnb units. Sounds pretty good, and they've got an on-site brewery as well. So there's added incentive for staying overnight. Moving on in news, there's lots to talk about tonight. There's another flying car project. You may remember the Aeromobile from Slovakia. That crashed.
The pictures.
Sorry, what?
There you go. There's a Vista picture.
Yes. Right, it's the Vista picture.
There you go. There's your Aeromobile picture.
This is the new one. This is the Klein Vision Air Car. It looks a bit like the old Aeromobile, but even longer and even wackier. It has flown amazingly. There's a very dodgy video which is on our website, showing it trundling along a grass field, ideally made for what looks like a modern supercar, and it manages to get airborne and does a little circuit. So another flying car. I cannot believe anybody's really going to buy something like this. Yeah, and it's got a zillion regulations to jump through. So why somebody's got too much money and spending it.
That's it.
Yeah,
I watched the video, and it looks like because the video of the actual car flying, it lifts off and kind of flies in ground effect, and then they cut to another piece of video, and if you look really carefully, I think it's a model that then flies the circuit.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I think there's some cunning editing. I'm clearly amazing to have something that you can actually. And if you watch the video of this thing unfold, it's pretty spectacular. It's probably the most clever folding car system so far. So,
Yes.
but yeah, it's like a solution looking for a problem.
It's trying to. I was going to say it's trying to solve a problem that none of us have really got.
Yeah.
A slightly more serious problem is the fact that a casualty of COVID is that the various charities that fly young people, give them flight experiences, they've not been able to do very much this year. One of them, for instance, is the Barda Braves. This is run by the Douglas Barda Foundation. It's a fantastic little event, little series of events. They normally run 6 per year, and they've had to cancel 5 of them so far. There's another one scheduled for October at Sandown, but there's a whole bunch of things they have to put in place, and some kids with disabilities and COVID don't really mix very well, so they're not too certain about putting that one, making that one go either. Hopefully, they're going to run a full schedule in 2021. So moving on, there's some news at Gloucestershire airfield. The local council want to build some more business units on a part of the airfield. Now, these are business units presumably involved with aviation, because most of the businesses on the airfield are somehow involved with aviation. But it's kind of still, so in one way, it's not a bad thing. More money for the airfield, keeps operating. They're not talking about closing it down. They're just talking about building up the business. But on the other hand, they're talking about using some of the land that is used by some of the helicopter operators. And there's quite a few businesses there that have based themselves there because they've got access to an airfield. So that's not terribly good. Do you have anything to say on this matter, Ian?
Me?
Yes.
No.
Well, Ian and I saw an email yesterday which had the plans on it, and basically the council are filling in some space on the northern edge between kind of existing bits of kind of developed land already, and it eats into a chunk of what's used for the kind of helicopter operations. It's clearly going to affect runway 1836. Paul Sengupta just raised that, and it's put some buildings very close to the end of 0422 as well. So, and obviously you want the council to be able to develop the airport if they own it, and you need it to be you need it to have good financial viability. But there's certainly, listening to someone who's kind of related to operations there, that I don't think a lot of people were consulted, and a few people were quite surprised by the plans when they appeared.
I think the last thing you want to do when you're developing an airfield which is operational is compromise the runways.
Yep.
So that's not necessarily a great thing to do. Moving on.
The last thing, of course, and there's absolutely no suggestion this will happen at Gloucester at all, seriously, but it has happened elsewhere, is that at some stage in the future, someone decides that the needs of the industrial estate really aren't the same as the airport, and they need to be split and separated. So all that revenue that comes into the airport from the industrial units and the rent then doesn't anymore and goes into a separate property management company, and then people go, this airport is losing the bloody council a whole load of money. I'm not saying that's going to happen at Gloucester. I'm not saying anyone's even thought of that happening at Gloucester, but it has happened elsewhere, and when it does, it kind of makes airports really struggle. But
yeah. So a couple of bits of input. Richard Andrews says the helicopter community will be disrupted, but nothing that we couldn't work around. Okay, thanks for that. Jason Gill says Wickham has similar plans available on the local council website. Lots of car dealers have arrived recently, and more to come apparently. Well, that's worth checking out.
Oh, that'd be very bad news if Wickham was to close. It's a brilliantly popular airfield. Okay, so Continental have certified their new high-power CD170 turbodiesel engine. It's going to be used first in Tecnam's P2010, and Tecnam plan to aim at training fleets. It also opens up the opportunity for some other manufacturers to use the engine. Piper already use the CD155 engine, and maybe the CD170 is an option for them as well. Gives them a bit more power, which will be useful in hot and high, conditions. And
Ian, you've flown the 155 powered Cherokee, haven't you? The Archer DX.
Yeah. I mean, all those diesel engines, kind of, with the exception of Robin, actually, I'd say all those diesel engines are going into airframes that really are better off with more power on the ground. You get once you climb, because they're all turbocharged. Once you climb up and you get above, I don't know, 6,000 feet or something, and they really come into their own. But certainly on the runway, you kind of think you kind of advance that throttle because it's fade out. You can slam it open and it doesn't make any difference. Not that I would, of course, because I have mechanical sympathy. And then you just sit there and you go, yeah, anyway, how's it going? Yeah, all right.
Things happen. I guess the other potential for that engine, the Piper was a while ago announced that they were doing a Seminole diesel twin, weren't they? So I would imagine 2 of those on that would actually make that quite a good machine.
Yeah.
Of course, one of the reasons for going for this engine is not just for the power and the economy, but also because Jet A1 is more easily available in many parts of the world. So Middle East, for instance, hard to get avgas in certain places.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Quick discussion. Yesterday, what's the day? Today's the 20th. Yes, yesterday was National Aviation Day. It's mostly celebrated in the US. Should we bring it over here?
Nothing wrong with that.
The reason why it's 19th of August is because that's Orville Wright's birthday. Well, it's when he was born. He's no longer alive, so it's no longer his birthday. Yeah.
Definitely.
No, that's got to a stunning silence, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was about to say. Normally, two rights make a right, don't they? Or 2 Orville Wrights. Yeah, Orville and Wilbur made a. Anyway, that was a good joke. It was a good joke in my head.
Yeah. So this is going well again, isn't it? Yeah.
Moving on.
Trevor, very quickly, Trevor Pegram says, personal opinion only, I've yet to fly a diesel I've been impressed with. Training, yes, no other reason.
Yeah, I think so. The diesel I've flown that I liked the most is probably the Robin, the DR400 with the diesel, because the DR400 airframe was kind of originally constructed. I think the first engines on those DR400s was something like 112 horsepower.
Yeah, lowish power. So
it had lowish power. So when you stick in 155 horsepower, you don't get quite that same feeling as you do in a 172 or PA28 when you open the throttle and frankly, nothing much happens for a little while. That's not quite like that in the Robin. So I think the Robin, so far of all the diesel aircraft I've flown, has probably been the best fit. And if anyone's interested in the worst fit diesel aircraft that I've ever flown, it was a Maule M9 in the States. We were flying it out of the Maule factory and just flying along, fat, dumb and happy, or at least I was fat, dumb and happy. And it started making a kind of slightly strange noise. And the guy who I was flying with, unfortunately, I can't remember his first name. His last name was Maule, though. Seriously, said, I think we'll continue this somewhere over the airport, if that's okay with you. So with the rest of the flight was within glide range of the airport.
Okay.
That's true. There's the WAM 120.
Yes, but
David Johnston.
I think they've flown 1,000 hours in their RV9A.
Yeah.
Wow.
We shouldn't forget that Diamond have made quite a good business out of equipping aircraft with diesel engines. I've flown the DA40, both the pre-NG and also the NG, and that's a very nice aeroplane. It works very well in the Diamond.
Yeah, and the twin diesel 62. Yeah, just when we thought big twins were dead.
Yeah,
that is a real hit.
Yeah,
you can see all those Continental lawyers putting their pens down and thinking, "Shucks." Can't see those. So you should try a Welch diesel. I flew one fitted to an RV9 and I was impressed. I flew an RV9A with a Welch diesel as well a few years ago now.
Yep.
If I built an RV9, I probably wouldn't put I wouldn't put a Welch diesel in it. I'm sorry. I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something else before we upset someone and get into trouble.
Okay. Fantasy hangar.
Yes.
We've got fantasy hangar. Okay. So let me move over here. Who wants to go first? Dave, you going to explain why this is your fantasy?
So what are we looking at? What gap are we filling in the fantasy hangar tonight?
So we're looking for a single engine piston tourer, one that you can jump in, go places.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
single engine, and a piston. Dave, while you're talking about that, I'm going to go and have a look, see if there's been any other suggestions offline.
Okay. Right. So that's not mine.
Wrong aeroplane.
Wrong airplane. Oh, no. Ed, you might as well go, as I've spoilt it.
You've ruined it now, Ian. Well, can you go back through that? Let's start with Dave. Can you do that?
There you go. Dave, well, they're both
There
red.
we go. Yeah.
Right. So look at this. Isn't she absolutely beautiful? Who wouldn't want to fly this? This is a Beech S35. It's the S because it's got the streamlined sloping windshield. But of course, it's also got the V-tail. It's a Beech Bonanza, first made in 1947, continued to be still in production. It's still in production now as without the V-tail, unfortunately. But what a lovely aircraft! It's supposed to take up to 6, but that's a bit of a push. But certainly it can carry 4 people with a bit of luggage, and it's a go places. Retractable undercarriage, adjustable prop. It's just lovely. Makes a great noise as well. Roomy inside. It's a beautiful aeroplane. I'd love to have one. I did actually look on some American classifieds. A nice one at the moment. It's going around for $130,000 to $150,000. That's a bit outside my price range at the moment.
Yeah.
But I think you're right with that. It's a bloody good choice. That's I've always loved Bonanzas. When you mention 6 seats, I think you're thinking of the A36, which is a real truckster. But either one, A36 or the V-tail, or even just the regular configured tail Bonanza, or real strong following, amazing airplane.
Yeah.
Nice choice.
Yeah.
Ian.
Yeah.
Ian, I'll go next then, shall I? And then we'll have a quick look at the front. So this is going to be, I'm sure there's going to be a few people out there going, oh, no, really? And great. So Cirrus SR22T, why that airplane? Well, because if you want a tourer, what you want to do is you just want to be able to jump in and go, and you want comfort, you want integrated avionics, you just want to get efficiently from A to B at high speed and in comfort. And this does it. It's a fantastic, frankly, almost all new aircraft come with similar avionics now, if not the same avionics. But what Cirrus have done is they've done a really fantastic job of integrating everything together. So the systems all work really well. They all talk to each other. It's comfortable. It's just a kind of, it's a what I have no idea. I'm not going to compare it to a car, but it's just a very good, very fast, very comfortable, very efficient airplane. So there you go. That's me.
Would you like an Audi with that? Because it's, I see where you're coming from. It's very it's a very packaged job. It's very it just gets on and does it. But it's not very exciting, is it?
No.
Or maybe you don't need excitement.
If I'm going away and I'm touring, I don't. I'm not doing that for excitement. If I wanted excitement, I'd go and buy an extra, which we'll come to at some stage for our fantasy
at some time. Well, clearly, then you're obviously not along the same lines as my SEP touring choice, because I thought. I thought what I really it would be easy. People would go, "Oh, you're probably going to pick the RV10 or something," which that's a really great tourer, and you can chuck a load of stuff in it. But I think sometimes what you need is something when you get to your destination and you've got an aeroplane that really makes a statement when you arrive, but also probably with the stagger wing, you arrive and discover it's a crosswind, and then you're absolutely bricking it because it's Mike ground loop. But I thought this is just it's nice. You park up. It's the kind of thing you travel in style, and it's going to make you smile through the whole journey. Probably not for the fuel burn, but yeah, I just thought why be Audi normal? Why have the why? Yeah.
I think to be honest, I think you're right. You're looking at it there. It is drop dead gorgeous. And if I had that in the hangar and the Cirrus SR22 parked next to it, then unless there was a howling crosswind at the destination, or I was in a real hurry and I'd jump, I would take the stagger wing. Yeah. No,
yeah.
You convinced me. You've moved me away. However, there is one thing I just need to point out on this stagger wing, on all stagger wing.
I know what the
airplane. This is stunning. I love the staggered wings inside. What is going on with the tail? I mean, seriously, did they give that to the apprentice? It's ugly.
I know you have a thing like this, don't you? It's like everything is good except for the tail. It's the same with I'm not going to shock the viewers by telling them that you look at the Super Constellation and you don't like it.
That's not
because
just
of the
tail,
nose
that's
wheel.
the whole freaking aeroplane that's all wrong on that one. But the tail
Right.
is just the tail is just what's going on here?
You've broken it, Grandad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Grandad operating the internet.
There's some good suggestions. Tom McCormick says agree on the Cirrus, does the job. That's fair, Tom. Johnny Salmon is clearly in the outer regions of fantasy hangar territory because he's gone. I'd fit a Pratt & Whitney Wasp to a PC-12, which is clearly that would be a very statement arrival, wouldn't it? Very practical.
What we got?
Mr. Approach 2 says travel in style, take a Travel Air 4000. That is a very good suggestion, but it only seats 2. I think that's the 4000 is the biplane. I can't remember. People will be writing in. Kia Williams says Spartan Executive. That's quite a good shout.
Yeah.
So
did you know that Water Beach was in partnership with Clyde Cessna and Lloyd Stearman to form the Travel Air company? Yeah,
I did.
Yeah.
And did you know that he was also in partnership with Mike Cirrus?
There's no such person. You've made that up. You've just rewritten history.
That's okay.
Right.
Adrian Norris wants to know is a ground leaper statement. I don't know if it's that.
It's probably what everyone's watching for if you arrive in a Staggerwing.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. And Andy Kennedy says the irony of Staggerwing is that it was a Cirrus which day. Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And Richie's confirming 4 seats in the Travel Air 4000, so that kind of sneaks in.
Okay.
3 seats.
Yeah, thanks, Richie. Good.
So
I think we can put in. I think in the fantasy hangar we should put in the Staggerwing.
Okay.
And then
I'm glad you've seen the way.
And just.
Oh, and yeah, Paul Fraser Benison, who's obviously been reading Flyer, says the JMB VL3, probably with the Rotax 915.
That's definitely 2 seats, but
there are 2 seats, but Rotax powered Tourer, super frugal, very fast, very comfy.
This is a fantasy hangar though, and on the forum, Nigel Webb was talking about the what's it called?
The Lance.
The Lance. I mean, and the Lance is a very capable, very sensible, very logical choice. It's just not very fantasy, I think. Sorry, Nigel.
We all have different fantasies.
Up your fantasy game a bit.
Yes. Right. Fly-ins.
Right. Moving on. Fly-ins. Yes.
So there's a lot of events obviously been cancelled this summer because of COVID. But in September, or towards the end of August and beginning of September, there's a few things starting to pop up and look like they might go ahead. At Glenforsa, the Isle of Mull, it looks like they're going ahead with their RV flying. This is a long weekend event, 29th to the 31st. Lovely place, the Isle of Mull. Lovely place, Glenforsa. Hope the weather's good.
Does because I think the hotel's closed all year, so presumably that's like a camping thing, is it?
The hotel is closed all year, but I understand that Brendan has said that there's some camping facilities there. So I'm not sure. You would want to check on that. Don't trust me.
Yeah.
Camping in Scotland, great.
Yeah. Mid central.
Yes. So what else? Stoke Golding, who normally have a fabulous flying in the summer, they've had to cancel their fabulous flying, so they're having their informal flying on the 30th of August. Compton Abbas, they've restarted their vintage Saturdays. This is the first Saturday of the month. There's going to be one on the 5th of September, weather permitting. And over in Germany, they're having the 50 years of the Grumman AA5 meeting.
Wow, 50 years of that.
50 years of the AA5.
It doesn't seem long enough, does it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And where's that taking place? Is that Bonn Hangar, I think?
That's it, correct. Bonn Hangar. I'm glad you said that. I had no idea how to pronounce that.
They had the Pippa's girlfriend in.
Don't bait him. Don't bait him. It's just too much.
Okay, so are we going to talk about some Flyer Club benefits and other stuff?
Could do. There's
yeah.
a mask.
There's a mask. So, in all seriousness, there is a mask, but can't get that left-right thing sorted out. It arrived today, so literally just need to have a look at it, do some quality control, make sure we're happy with it. And once we are, then we'll be making the mask with various logos. I did ask Ed if we could use this picture and put this picture on the mask, and then we could call it the RV grin. But he didn't seem to think that was a great idea. I thought it was brilliant.
No one needs that.
Well, you need that, clearly. That would be. Can you imagine that? It'd be perfect, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So, and then we're working on some other branded merchandise, as it were. And thank you to everyone who came up with the suggestions and the illustrations of how to get the top button out of a baseball hat. So that's good. The main thing about the Flyer Club is the land. Well, not the main thing. There are lots of things, but the landing fees are going up next week, so you'll be able to use those during September. Flyer Club members only, that applies to. I'm pretty sure that everyone watching this is a Flyer Club member, and if you're not, then you need to be. Come on,
£2.50 a month.
Yeah, save a load of money every month. There's a whole load of benefits: 5% off Poolies, 10 quid off Transair if you spend a certain amount, 20% off a film, 15% off the Top Gun cheese experience, and it's just join. Everyone wants to join. You need to join. But it's 8 o'clock.
We've overrun.
We've overrun again. So let's just have a quick last look at the comments. What have you? That would be the RV Grim, yeah. Very good. I like that. Didn't know and Karen and Tom are calling out, which I'm guessing is Tom on that one. Didn't know the glue would last that long. We were talking about that earlier. We went to a breakfast in Vero Beach with Jim Beattie, who was obviously involved in the BD5, not particularly successfully. Was also at Grumman. I think he said at that breakfast, unfortunately he's passed away now, so he can't sue me. Said at that breakfast that he designed the lunar landing module or something like that. Didn't Grumman have something to do with that?
Yeah, Grumman did.
Yeah,
I think.
Do you want to point out that the glue reference is to the wings of the AA5 because it was a bonded construction.
It was.
It was.
Yeah. It was purple glue, wasn't it? It was purple epoxy of some kind, and there was some of it that didn't quite last as long as it did. Apparently,
I don't know. It was forward-thinking technology at the time.
Yeah, it was. Talking of glue for aeroplanes, just a small fact. I'm told, and maybe someone online can confirm this. Cheers, Trevor. See ya. Sorry about that. Someone online can confirm this. That during the war, when the French were forced to work in the factories building aircraft, they used to surreptitiously pee in the glue to weaken it in German aircraft. So I've been told.
Wow. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I guess that would be a one way to show your dissatisfaction.
It would indeed. At that point, yes. I think we should probably wrap up unless anyone's got anything else.
No.
No, apart from watch the winds, but fly safe. Have a good week.
Absolutely. And hopefully see you all out and about an airfield sometime soon. And we appreciate you spending half an hour of your Thursday evening to spend it with us. And thank you very much. And we'll catch you soon.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.
Yeah. Stay safe. Bye.